Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome on back to Radical Reptilia. So I'm out in the rodent room today, and just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what I got going on here, how I do it, and we'll do some other videos on like how to breed and things like that. This is more of just a rodent room walkthrough, if you will. Yeah, comment down below, let me know what you think, and let's go ahead and show you around. All right, guys. So first of all, I'm in my garage, and I just have like a little greenhouse that you would use for plants and whatnot in the corner of the garage. And this is actually where I have my rodents in here. And this just works well because then I don't have to heat the whole garage. I can just heat this little room, if you will, in the wintertime, and definitely saves on energy costs and things of that nature. But this room has been through multiple iterations. Let me back up a little bit again just to kind of show you. I've got a middle rack over here with some cages. I've got a freezer, little work area, heater, and then two DIY rat racks in the back. I've had different combinations of this I've been breeding rodents for about the past year or so, ever since I've been back. Well, not year, I'll say 8 months since I've been back sort of in the hobby. And this has been what has been working for me. I was doing mice originally too, but right now I'm just doing regular rats and African soft-furred rats, which I'll show you. That seems to work good for me. But yeah, so it's small. I don't know the exact dimensions. I think it's like 10 by 7 or something like that, or 11 by 7. It's not too big. I'll put a link down below if anyone's interested. This is the freezer where I keep all the frozen stuff. I've got a little work area cart here, some cleaner, paper towels for cleaning day, little clips I use for marking things. I'll touch on those in a separate video when I talk about breeding. A scale to weigh them. I use the Rodent Pro guide to kind of see what sizes I have. And then I've got the CO2 chamber, probably do a separate video on that as well. Just some paper towel rolls and things, some fun toys for them. 2 rat racks. These are 6 tub rat racks that I built myself. I did not come up with the plans for them though. I tweaked a couple things, but mainly went off of the plans from ARB Reptiles, I believe it is. I'll also link that down below. Not mine, so I want to give credit where credit is due. But if you follow those plans, they work really well, and you'll build a nice unit that looks something like this. And of course I added the watering system on later. And then over here is just a metal rack from like Sam's Club with some lab cages on it. And originally I used this rack specifically just for mice and ASFs. But now I use it for ASFs and pregnant mom rats. So I'll just show you kind of over here what I got going on. So like I usually run 1.3. That's not a good example because there's not 1.3 in there. Here's 3 mamas, and it's getting close to cleaning day, so this is about the dirtiest it ever gets, which isn't bad. But got 3 mamas in there, and what I do is I cycle the males. Again, touch on that more in a different video, but basically I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 breeding tubs at the top, and then the bottoms I use for grow outs. So at any given time, I usually have pregnant females at any given time, and I cycle the males, so they just work their way down each tub for 2 weeks at a time, and then they switch back to the top. And then when a mom is pregnant, I move her over here to the lab cage where she can give birth and nurse her young. And I found this works so much better with rats. Instead of communal breeding or whatever you call it, where you have the moms stay in there with their young and stuff like that. They just seem to have a better success rate when you pull them out and give them kind of their own space to raise their pups. As you can see, mom there is very calm, just hanging out. She's not too concerned with what I'm doing. So I got those lab cages, and then down here on the second up from the bottom, I've got 3 cages of ASFs. Bring you a little closer. ASFs, and these are a lab cage I actually found on eBay. I could have built a rack, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do long term, So I just wanted to use lab cages, and they're expensive. They're not cheap, but they work out fantastic because these guys are definitely chewers. If they're not in the right cage, you can have issues. And I haven't had a single issue with the lab cages. They work perfectly. And my ASFs aren't too aggressive, but as a whole, they're not exactly the most easygoing rodents. They can sometimes bite, and they love to chew. So these cages keep them, and there's not any issues. I think they're made by Allentown. Got them from eBay. Brand new, but I've got 4, 8, 12 of those guys, and then 6 of the regular lab cages. And basically the top 3 rows are for pregnant mama rats, and then the ASFs are down there for grow outs, and then 3 tubs of breeders right now. I don't have a ton. But that's the status of the rodent room today. Again, it's gone through many iterations. I'm actually going to change it up here again soon. I've got something pretty cool coming along that I'm excited about. And with that, I think this rack's going to be going away. I'm hoping to keep the DIY rat racks because I think I can use them for grow outs. And they work just really well. I mean, I know a lot of people don't love them, but I've had them for a long time now, and I've had no issues. The rats do really well. They got plenty of room to run around, which is cool. I'll show you a tub with some young ones in it. And you can see he's got plenty of room to run around. Hey guys, what's up? So they're just checking me out, but those are some young ones, probably, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks old now. Just running around, hanging out. But they work really well, and there's no food on there. Well, there's a couple pieces. They eat through it pretty quick when there's that many growing up. And mom's in there too to help them. But gotta go through, clean, and feed today. But just wanted to film a video and show kind of the current status of what's going on. So if you have any questions on the rat room itself, drop them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them and talk about it. I'll do a separate video on breeding ASFs versus breeding rats, for sure. That'll come in handy. But everything else really is pretty straightforward. These are just the DIY, and then I'll step over here and just show you this from another angle. Just a Sam's Club 48-inch shelf with some lab cages. These actually I got from Amazon. I'll put a link to those as well. They're pricey, but I really do like them. Had some shipping issues a couple times with them getting damaged. Hopefully the company fixed that. But if they get them to you in one piece, they're great. They've got the nice tops to them. You know, the clips, they fit on real nice. They do fine in there, especially for a single mom. If you were breeding in there, well, we'll save that for another video, but I don't know if there's enough room for really breeding in them. And then these are the Reptile Basics lab cages when they used to sell them. I think they discontinued them, but I've got 2 of those as well. And then the rest are from Amazon. So I'll put some links to this stuff down below, to the cages and to the plans to build a rack and stuff like that. And then I guess I should mention, in the summertime, it does get warm in the garage, so I have an portable AC unit that I just pull in, and it runs in here and keeps it about 76 degrees at a maximum. That seems to be a sweet spot. And then in the winter time, I've got one of these little radiator heaters, just a little Polonus, and that is actually plugged into a digital thermostat that runs that and keeps the room about between 60 and 65 degrees. It's kind of, you know, heats up, cools down type of thing. The thermostat over there. So I guess I'll link that too, because that works really well, and that thermostat has enough, is built heavy duty enough to handle the 1500 watts or so that this heater is, and haven't had any issues. And then this one is just kind of like a backup for really cold days, or you know, when I maybe need some supplemental heat. I can power that up. That's a 240 volt garage heater, and that'll heat up the room really, really quick. And I wired that in to a 240 line. So that's a whole different animal. But if I had some insulation and stuff out here, which someday I might build a little room out here instead of just having the hut, then at that point, with insulation, this heater will be more than enough. But because it's just a greenhouse, you know, sometimes I need to back up. Can't really speak to what these cost to run just yet, because this is kind of my first winter having to heat this room, because I started breeding back in like April-ish. So I know way back when I had this channel going before, I did some breeding. It was not to the scale that I'm doing today, nor the knowledge. So things are definitely going a lot better, and I have a lot more experience, and I built better racks, and I have better cages. And just as I've gotten older, you know, more resources, ability to do things to make life a bit easier and more streamlined. So, but I'll cover breeding in a separate video. Just wanted to kind of get an overview of the rodent room itself. And yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. So stay tuned. I'll be back with some updates out here. I'm actually going to make some changes pretty, you know, near future here. But drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you have questions, I'll be happy to help with those. But things are going pretty well out here. I don't really have any complaints. Works pretty well with the greenhouse and whatnot. So I'll drop links down below to things that have helped me out here, in case you want to pick them up or maybe use them for your purposes. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. Again, drop a comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'd love to have you along. I haven't had content in a long time, but looking to maybe keep some more content going as I get back into the hobby here. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you later.